unselfish play. That unselfishness became contagious. Oh, man. Ty Lawson showing you he's got some ups to go with that speed.
Gallinari with the crossover.
After the Nuggets lost to the Memphis Grizzlies, we moved on to play the Atlanta Hawks, and we were able to actually come back and beat the Atlanta Hawks in overtime, 118 to 117. We moved to 24-19 with this win. Not the greatest game in the world for the Nuggets, but we were able to still win here against a good Atlanta Hawk team, and I'll definitely take it. Not the best performance by us, but it was a great comeback and a nice win for us over Atlanta. We shot the ball pretty well here against the Hawks. We were 52% from the field, 35% from the three-point line, and 81% from the free throw line. I'll take that type of shooting performance all day, every day from the Nuggets, and I thought we did a good job of shooting the ball here against Atlanta. Hawks, on the other hand, were 47% from the field, 48% from the three-point line, and 89% from the free throw line. For the most part, they outshot us here in this game. Our perimeter defense was awful here in this game against Atlanta. I mean, you allow them to shoot 48% from the three-point line. I thought, we were terrible with our communication on the defensive end. Our rotations were slow, and just our recovery on the defensive end was not good here, and Atlanta definitely took advantage of that. Some of the good things the Nuggets had here in this game, we had 30 assists. I thought there was times where the ball movement was really terrible, especially in the third quarter, but as the game wore on, and I thought for the majority of the game, especially in the first half, the ball movement was great. Did a good job of playing at our type of pace, our type of tempo, playing our style of basketball, and forcing Atlanta to play at a chaotic pace here. And I thought our ball movement was really good in that first half, and pretty solid in the fourth quarter and overtime, but was really non-existent there in the third quarter. We had 19 fast break points. A lot of those came in the first half. Did a pretty good job in that first half of being aggressive, playing fast, and getting up the court, getting out in transition, getting easy buckets in transition. We had 60 points in the paint. I thought our aggression offensively was absolutely phenomenal in the first half. Kind of dipped as the game went into the second half and overtime, but was great in the first half, and I thought we did a great job of getting a lot of high percentage shots, easy layups, easy dunks at the rim. That was big for us. And like I said, the first half was great for the Nuggets. We outscored the Hawks 64 to 55 in the first half. We just played with great energy, great intensity on the defensive end, especially in the second quarter. Did a good job of playing physical with Atlanta in the first half, and then just playing that up-tempo style, aggressive style of offense that we like to play, and really kind of forced Atlanta into our game, if you will. And it really paid off for us in the first half. We forced Atlanta to commit 13 turnovers, which is good. I thought we were active defensively here against the Hawks. Had 16 points off those turnovers. You like seeing that, capitalizing on your opposition's mistakes. And our bench dominated this game. Our bench outscored Atlanta's bench 41 to 13. Once again, the second unit for the Nuggets continues to play well. I thought our bench was a huge reason we won this game. They absolutely dominated the game here against Atlanta, especially in the first half. Our bench was phenomenal. Got great contributions from Al Harrington. I thought Andre was pretty solid. Corey Brewer was solid in this game, and our bench was huge for us here against the Hawks. Looking at some of the bad things the Nuggets did here in this game, obviously our defense wasn't very good. The execution on the defensive end was not very good, especially our perimeter defense. Our defensive woes continue here against Atlanta. To give up 170 points, that's never a good defensive outing. You give up 14 threes to the Hawks, which is just ridiculous. I mean, as I mentioned earlier, our rotations were terrible at times in this game. Our perimeter defense continues to struggle. I mean, just sometimes, some of our guys out there look lost on the defensive end. There's not, really anybody kind of stepping up as the leader on the defensive end so far for this team this season, and just the communication isn't good. I think on our recovery with our defense is very terrible as well, and it's just our defense has been wildly inconsistent this year, and we do a lot of little things wrong on the defensive end which lead to big mistakes by us on that end of the floor, and it continued here against Atlanta. Just gave up way too many open looks from the three-point line to Atlanta. They took advantage of it. I mean, you allowed them to shoot 48% from the three-point line, hit 14 total threes. You're not going to beat many teams when you play that poor perimeter defense and just defense in general. And we were very fortunate to kind of steal this win here with as poor as we were on the defensive end. Just really was not happy with the execution there, and we just do so many things wrong on the defensive end. Like I said, whether it be the rotations being too slow, guys getting lost on the defensive end, lack of communication, our recovery defense being terrible, our closeouts not being great, and just our help defense and our hedges just not being great. I mean, we just do so many little fundamental things wrong on the defensive end, and it's very frustrating to watch. We did have 14 turnovers as well. Could have taken care of the ball a lot better here. We ended up giving up 23 points off of those turnovers to Atlanta. That was a big reason why they were able to kind of take control of this game in the second half, was all the turnovers that we had led to a lot of easy buckets for them here against us. We also gave up 15 fast break points to Atlanta. There was actually a time in this game, mainly in that third quarter, where they were actually outrunning us, kind of beating us at our own game, which was really embarrassing to watch. And just the second half in general was not good for us. We were outscored 50 to 41 in the second half. Our second half woes continue here in the second half, ironically, of the season. Just offensively, we weren't attacking at all. The same aggression that we had in the first half disappeared in the second half, and then the intensity on the defensive end dipped, and just once again just kind of got back to our bad habits on both ends of the floor, especially the defensive end, and it hurt us, but luckily for us it didn't cost us the win here against Atlanta. Now looking at some individual performances for us here in this game, Nene led the way for us. He finished with 22 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. He was 8 of 16 from the field and 6 of 6 on the free throw line. I thought Nene was all right in this game. Could have been much better on the glass. I thought defensively he played well for the most part. Had hit a couple big shots for us down the stretch. Hit 2 big free throws for us down the stretch. And I thought all in all played pretty well. I thought his passing was great in this game. He had one big pass for us there in the fourth quarter where he hit Al Harrington for an easy layup. Great unselfish play by Nene, showing great court vision there. And I thought he was pretty good. Settled for the jump shot a little too much, but I thought all in all Nene got into a nice rhythm offensively and knocked down a couple shots and played pretty well for us. Ty Lawson had a great game. He finished with 21 points, 7 assists, 6 rebounds, and 3 steals. He was 8 of 11 from the field and 4 or 5 from the three-point line, 1 and 2 from the free throw line. Would have liked to see Ty be a little more aggressive in this game, but I thought he did a great job affecting the game in multiple aspects. Atlanta kept kind of disrespecting Ty by kind of sagging off him on the defensive end, kind of wanting him to take that three-point shot or the jump shot, trying to seal the lane off, not allow Ty to attack. And they kept going under screens. I thought Ty did a great job of recognizing that, taking advantage of that, and he had a bunch of open threes, and he took advantage of that. He hit 4 out of 5, as I mentioned before. It was great to see him kind of find the touch from outside, hit a couple big shots for us, and then started attacking, being aggressive more in that fourth quarter and overtime, and Ty was great. Did miss a big layup here in this game, but I thought all in all Ty played phenomenal and did a great job of affecting the game in multiple ways. And defensively, you had 3 steals. You like seeing that. Ty was pretty good here. Gallo played well. He finished with 19 points, 3 rebounds, a steal, and a block. He was 6 of 13 from the field, 1 of 4 from the three-point line, 6 of 7 from the free throw line. Joe Johnson definitely hurt us in this game, but I thought Gallo had a couple good defensive outings and possessions here against Joe Johnson, forcing him to do a couple tough shots. And then obviously Gallo was huge for us on the offensive end. You saw him attacking more, being more aggressive. Obviously, since the ankle injury, since his return from that, he's kind of been a little hesitant on the offensive end, but you can tell his ankle's starting to kind of get back to normal, and he's starting to attack more, getting more lift, obviously, with his ankle returned to normal, and did a great job of getting to the bucket, drawing contact, getting to the foul line, knocking down his free throws, and then obviously hitting that huge 3 in the fourth quarter where he's literally, fading away, falling out of bounds, and drilled it. Clutch shot, huge play by Gallo, and we don't even have a chance to win this game without Gallo hitting that shot. That was a huge shot. Big play by Gallo, and it was a crazy shot. I was shocked he hit it. I thought it was a terrible offensive possession for us. We kind of just lucked out with Gallo hitting that shot. But Gallinari was great all game and was aggressive all game and did a good job of attacking the basket and making that huge shot for us in the fourth. And lastly for us, Al Harrington continued his high level of play here against Atlanta. He finished with 19 points as well to go along with 8 rebounds. He was 8 of 12 from the field, 0 of 3 from the three-point line, 3 of 4 from the free throw line. Al was great here in this game, had a lot of big shots for us down the stretch here in this game, played with great intensity on both ends of the floor, played with great effort, and then once again doing a good job of moving without the ball and being aggressive on the offensive end, not settling for the three-point shot. Only 3 of his 12 shots were three-pointers here. Did a good job of getting some easy buckets at the rim, some easy layups, high percentage shots in the painted area, and once again had a nice scoring night and had an overall real good night. So I was real happy with Harrington's play, and I thought he was big for us in this game. For the Hawks, it was really just Joe Johnson and Josh Smith that killed us. Johnson finished with 34 points to go along with 3 assists and 2 boards. He was 13 of 26 from the field, 6 of 10 from the three-point line, and 2 of 2 from the free throw line. There There was a couple times where I thought Afflalo and even Gallo played really good defense on Johnson, forced him into some tough shots, but you know, him being the great shooter and great player that he is, hit a couple tough shots. But there were some times defensively, multiple times here in this game, where we just got lost on our rotations and lost on our switches, and we left Joe Johnson wide open from the three-point line. He took advantage of that. I mean, overall, he shot 60% from the three-point line here in this game. Not many teams in this league are going to beat Atlanta when Joe Johnson shoots that well from the three-point line. And then from the field overall, he's 50% from the field. Like I said, not many teams are going to beat Atlanta when Johnson shoots that well. And he was great for them here in this game, hit some huge shots for them down the stretch, and absolutely just kind of sliced up our defense here in this game with his phenomenal shooting. Josh Smith was also great. He finished with almost a triple-double here. He had 33 points, 13 rebounds, 7 assists, and 2 blocks. He was 13 of 23 from the field, 2 of 3 from the three-point line, 5 of 5 from the free throw line. Josh Smith is one of those guys that I think is kind of a rhythm shooter. I don't think he's a great shooter. I'll live with him shooting threes and 18-foot jump shots all day. You know, I think he's a lot more tough to guard and tough to deal with when he's attacking the basket. Didn't really attack that much. He did have a couple dunks here in this game, and did, you know, get to the bucket a couple times. But for the most part, we forced him into being a jump shooter, but we kind of got, again, getting lost on our rotations and just playing poor defense, left him wide open, and he took advantage of that, knocked down a couple shots, got hot, got into rhythm, and played well. I believe he did foul out, though, but did a great job affecting the game with his great effort on the glass. His passing was phenomenal here. Defensively, I thought was pretty good. He had one move in this game where he kind of spinned on Nene, just a super quick, nice move by Josh Smith, got right to the basket, and was able to knock down a couple shots here and played well against us. And then lastly, Kirk Hinrich finished with 22 points, 4 assists for Atlanta, was 7 of 8 from the field, 3 of 4 from the three-point line, 5 of 6 from the free throw line. Missed a huge free throw there for Atlanta in regulation that would have probably won, actually would have won them the game if he would have hit it. But you know, played well, got hot down the stretch. Once again, just left him wide open way too much, gave him way too many open looks from the three-point line, and he took advantage of that and had a super efficient night. I mean, 22 points on only 8 shots. Great night for Kirk Hinrich, and he played well. So tough game for the Nuggets overall. I mean, it's definitely a game I don't think we should have won, but we found a way to win it. It was another great comeback for us in overtime. A huge shot by Gallo there in fourth quarter to allow us to force overtime, and then we got fortunate with Zaza Pachulia missing probably the easiest shot of his life, and then Hinrich missing a free throw. So we're not going to get this lucky every time, but you know, I'll take wins any way we can get them, and fortunately for us, we were able to kind of edge this one out and steal this one. So the Nuggets beat the Atlanta Hawks 118 to 117 in overtime and moved to 24-19 with this